Hello, everyone. Dr. Allen here. Hope you're having a great week. Uh, this is the last week before spring break, which is fantastic. I know a lot of you probably have a lot to do. Some of you may even be doing a little bit of field work. Make sure you get a little R&R though. Kind of recharge a little bit for the big push to the end. I know you're probably saying, well, I've got to work, I got to do school, things like that. Believe me, I feel your pain. I'm probably going to come in and do a few things too, but still make sure you get a little bit of time to yourself just to kind of clear the head, make that big push through the end of March and April. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into this week. A few things. We're going to be working with something called Wakelet this week. I'm going to show it to you in 1 second. If you go down here, while I'm scrolling down, you can see there's Wakelet. We're going to be doing discussion 8 and blog 8. By the way, one thing, I'm going to go creep back up here. Everything up through Ed Puzzle should be graded by the time you're watching this. I sent out a reminder, but I wanted to kind of say that just in case you're watching this on Saturday or Sunday, I should get it up a little early this weekend. If you submitted something and it's not graded up through Ed Puzzle, just let me know. I'll take a look and make sure that I didn't overlook it. If you emailed it to me, just tell me. I'll find the email, and just a heads up on that regard. Also, I said at Puzzle, my goal is to make sure today's Friday, the 28th. I'm hoping that I can actually get the or the QR codes all done. What was happening is I have to do the phone with the QR code, so sometimes it just takes me a little bit of time to click everything. And with the Ed Puzzles, I will apologize. I know some of the comments are going to sound a little clunky. I had a blocker on my work computer and it wasn't letting me open some of them. I don't know. Some of it would let me open, some they wouldn't. So you might see something like couldn't open, then say ignore, I could open, because I brought my laptop in and I was able to start seeing everything. So with that being said, if you see something weird on the Ed Puzzle comments, just roll with it if you could. They should, I think pretty much everyone that submitted, they were fine, had everything in it. And the QR codes, they should be up to date and they should hopefully be all up posted by Saturday, the 1st. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into Wakelet. And I'm going to go down here, ignore the date. I got to move this up a little bit. But Wakelet is a pretty, I'm a fan of Wakelet. Let me go ahead and jump in. I've got it back here. Wakelet is a portfolio system, and some of these will be loading in a few minutes. That's 1968. I was actually experimenting with something there. Oh, I'll redo that here in a second so you know what I'm doing. That's kind of scary, Batman. I'll show you why that's on there. But Wakelet is a portfolio system that you can do a lot of things with. It's basically an information gathering tool, but it has expanded where you can do newsletters, information share, like I mentioned. You can also do lesson planning in it. It's a portfolio. Some people have told me in the blogs that they feel like Google Drive does the same thing. I don't disagree with that, but I think Wakelet is pretty easy. It's probably going to be one of the easiest texts you use this semester. Some of them aren't hard at all, but this is very, very straightforward. The other thing with Wakelet is you can use it. I'm going to be talking about it probably mainly from a teacher's point of view, because the way I used it, for example, if I was researching something like in our ed tech class, sometimes when I find a tech, I throw it in my Wakelet portfolio. And as you can see, it's just links. It's just an information gathering tool. And that way I have it. So like when I was planning for when I was teaching social studies, maybe I was doing something on ancient Egypt. I know some stuff about ancient Egypt, but maybe I've needed to freshen up or kind of get a little more background knowledge because it's not my area of expertise. I might have articles, I would throw them in my Wakelet portfolio. Other things, I would actually have students, because you will show you, but you can, if you have a Google account, you can create a Wakelet account. I would have a lot of times have students when they were researching topics say, you're going to do something similar today. Find 3 articles that relate to what you're researching and send me the link. And then I would have it. You can also, I'll show you again when we kind of break it out here, but you can do top 10 lists, you can do newsletters, but you can do a lot of things. So it's an e-portfolio. If you're an English major, maybe you can do something with the writing process where everyone's kind of working with a document that's being edited. You can have one version of it up, and then as someone does something else, you can post it. So again, it's just a tool. You got to have a little creativity with it. I am going to, before I show you what it does, show you this link. This is the Ditch That textbook link. I've shown it a few times. I know it's been on the discussion board, I believe once. But this is 20 ways you can use Wakelet. And as you can see, they've come up with things such as, you can do a 5-gift challenge. You can find gifts, i.e. Batman that was on there a minute ago. You can do choice boards for students to kind of look at as a place to go back to. You can have students write collaborative stories so they can like share it and work on it. You can do newsletters, top 10 lists, different types of challenges like a March Madness type challenge. Like I used to do one with a chart where we had to pick the best person in history. I know there's no answer to that, but students would have to debate. And we would like do the chart and have them come down. You can create playlists. It's a tool. I won't say that it's the most in-depth one, but I'm actually kind of a fan of it. I think the beauty is in its simplicity. And sometimes I think simple is better. And that's what I like about Wakelet. So let me just show you some things here with Wakelet. I'm actually going to log out. And you can, as you can see, there's some other things down here. You can do research, portfolio. That's another thing. You can create an e-portfolio. I always recommend, and this is probably more of a professional thing, but I still to this day keep an e-portfolio, and I also keep a hard copy portfolio, but you can scan and put PDFs up. So if anyone ever wanted to see this when you're putting in for jobs, you can just send them this Wakelet link. But again, I hate to put it this simple. I think it's a good brainstorming tool. But anyway, let me move my face out of the way. You can sign up or log in. I'm going to log in. As you can see, you can use any of these. Everyone should have a Google at this point. For some reason, I have a regular account. I think I did this a long time ago, and you'll see there's a lot of junk on mine. I showed you the educational tech, but to create a Wakelet, what you need to do, to hit create collection. As you can see, there's a lot of different layouts. You can do choice boards, you can do research boards, you can do newsletters, you can do lesson plans, you can do a weekly planner. All you have to do for me, you can experiment with these. You have to have 10 things in here. I will go ahead and warn you when you submit it. I'm fine if you want to just go with blank collection. And as you see, you can go here. I'm going to kind of repeat what I just deleted. But you give I'm thinking about doing a lesson plan submission on 1968. So I'm going to put 1968, the year that made us. And that was for grammar there. I'm sorry, for capitalization. That made us. Awesome. Then you can go Ruby. I think I spoke Ruby right. All right. Now, you can pick an image. If you wanted that Batman that was on there, you hit design, choose image. I'm fine. You can design one. I'm fine. I like GIFs. I think GIFs are kind of fun. So let's do 1960. 1960s. And I think that's why that Batman was there. When I was just working with everything, you can see Batman doing the Bat 2C. Let's do flower power this time. So there's flower power. So I'm going to, and as you can see, you can change the background image. You can change the layout. Again, I'm going to keep it simple. The beauty is in its simplicity. And as you go down here, you can see all you're going to do is there's links. There's YouTube things. Let's do this first. I'm going to do, this is 1968 year pictures just to see an insight. I was actually looking at it last night. So I'm going to click copy. And I'm going to go back to my Wakelet. And I'm going to just post the address in there. And as you can see, it's there. It even gives me a little summary. So it's there. That's it. You can put YouTube page things in there. Let's do this. 1968 YouTube. And remembering 1968. I'm going to pause that so it doesn't always you. Let's go ahead and click that out. And let me go back in here. If you click this little waffle, there's YouTube. It's going to tell me to look for it. I guess I could have looked for it there, but sometimes I like to just do it this way because I think it's easier. I know it's 101. I'm going to select it. And boom, my year is in there. Now say I want this one above this one, those 3 lines there. You take your hand, pop it up. It's there. That's it. That's how the tool works. There's also a spot for PDFs if you hit upload. So if you have a document on there, that's it. Again, I like it as an information gathering, but from a student's point of view, you can have them do the same thing. You can have them brainstorm and collect things. Now, to share this, what you have to do, you hit share. You have to publish it. And if you go back to share, now you can either copy link, you can use a QR code if you'd like. You can add people to help edit. I'm not going to get into that, but that's what I was saying. If you want to collaborate on something, you can definitely have people do that. Students do that. And you're going to submit that link on Brightspace. And again, you might have to do it on a Word document, put it on there. Now, what do you actually have to do for the assignment? I just said you have to post it. I went 10 things in this Wakelet. Let's go back to the assignment. I want you to pick a topic or a standard, more specifically, that you want to teach. And I did put the West Virginia Standard link right here. I'll send it out, but if you click it, oh, great, they're doing updates. I'll make sure that the link is up, and I'll make sure I put it in there. But you're going to get a West Virginia Standard. Actually, what I might even do is put the links to the PDFs. I want you to find a West Virginia Standard that you can teach, that you would like to teach. And I would like you to find 10 things in Wakelet that were involved around that. So let me do this. I feel like I'm doing it dirty by not doing this. West Virginia State Social Studies. The West Virginia State page it's in flux. I'm not going to go off on a tangent right now. Because it seems to change all the time. Okay, so for example, we'll just jump into 7th grade. I'll use this standard, compare and contrast forms of government through the age of imperialism. So I'm going to find 10 things that I think relate to that. Yes, you do need to put that. And if I was you, you are welcome to do this. Actually, why don't I do one better for you? Let's go to the 8th grade. And sorry, I'm a little bit on a side tangent, but I just want to make sure I'm giving you the good info here and not babbling too much. I'm just going to go ahead and do this as 20th century. That's great. And I'm just going to cut that whole thing. Actually, I'll cut. You can do it. There we go. Let me do it this way. You could actually take the standard if you wanted to, and there's an 8.5 if you see where I had groovy. If you want to just do this and paste it in there, boom. You can neaten it up if you want, or whatever floats your boat. But or if you really want to just do this, you could do West Virginia SS 8.25. Either one works. I would prefer not to look it up, but I will if I need to. But if you want to put that there, and then you can just put those, and that's just it. If you look at the standard, it talks about Vietnam War, Civil Rights Movement. That all takes place there in 1968. So you can just put it in there. So basically, I want a standard, and I want the number of the standard in there if you can do that for me, and then 10 resources that work with that standard. And then you make it shareable. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't worry about Padlet. That's on there. We're going to do that after spring break. I'm going to leave that out. But that's Wakelet. Hopefully I wasn't too babbly. Main thing that you need to do, go into Wakelet, put 10 things in related to a state standard. If you're going to ask this, I don't mind if it's a Maryland, Pennsylvania, or Virginia standard instead of West Virginia, if you want to locate that. I will update that link. I know they're redoing the site. And that's kind of it. The other thing is make sure everyone has a great spring break, get a little bit of rest. And I'll send out a summary of all this by email this week. And don't forget, there should be some stuff coming out, but don't forget, if you're watching this before Sunday, to make sure you have everything due on the 2nd. Make sure it's all submitted by 11:59. So have a great weekend. Have a great week. I'm just talking to talk, so I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing and talk to y'all later. Bye.